In a galaxy where the Jedi purge never ended, the Sith not only seized power, but maintained it for a full millennium, reshaping the galaxy into a dark empire built on fear, control, and forbidden knowledge. With no Jedi Order to resist them, generations grew up knowing only the rule of the dark side. Technology advanced under ruthless efficiency. The Force was twisted into a weapon of subjugation, and entire star systems became breeding grounds for Sith apprentices. But after 1,000 years, cracks begin to form, among both the oppressed masses and within the Sith ranks themselves. A young Force-sensitive, raised in secrecy by a hidden sect of light worshippers, emerges as a spark of hope, igniting a rebellion that could end the Sith's eternal night, or plunge the galaxy into an even deeper darkness. In this alternate path, the Jedi Council meets in the stillness of the High Chamber, the sunlight spilling through tall windows. Yoda's gaze lingers on Anakin Skywalker longer than usual, as if weighing the very fate of the galaxy in a single breath. After days of deliberation, the decision is made. Mace Windu steps forward, his voice deep and measured, announcing that Anakin Skywalker will be granted the rank of Jedi Master. The words seem to hang in the air like a breaking dawn. Anakin bows, a rare humility in his stance, but inside, relief surges through him. For years, he has fought for the Republic with unmatched skill and bravery. Now, with the Council's full trust, he feels ready to guide not only the battles, but the destiny of the Jedi themselves. Obi-Wan Kenobi smiles faintly from the side, pride tempered by caution, knowing that such power will test Anakin's heart. The new title brings with it a seat at the Council's inner decisions. Anakin listens as the Masters speak of the growing shadow in the galaxy. Palpatine, the Chancellor, is spoken of carefully, almost as if each word is a blade in the air. When Anakin visits Palpatine later that evening, the old man's eyes gleam with something more than warmth. He congratulates Anakin, but there is a weight in his tone, an invitation wrapped in poison. Days pass, and Anakin finds himself pulled between two worlds. The Jedi Council trusts him more than ever, asking him to lead missions into dangerous systems, while Palpatine whispers of knowledge beyond the Council's reach. Yet, as a master, Anakin's perspective shifts. He questions the Chancellor's motives, sensing currents of deceit beneath the calm surface. One night, visions strike him, Padme in danger, her life slipping away. In the old timeline, this fear would have driven him to desperation, but now his rank and responsibility give him something new: patience. He turns to Yoda, seeking guidance rather than secret power. The Grand Master speaks of letting go, of trusting the Force, and Anakin listens with an open heart. In this version of the galaxy, a single choice changes everything. The seeds of betrayal struggle to take root, and the war's path begins to bend toward a destiny no one could have foreseen. The war between the Republic and the Separatists rages on, but now Anakin Skywalker sits among the Jedi Masters, his voice carrying weight in the war councils. In the dimly lit war room, holograms of star systems shimmer in the air. Masters like Mundi and PLO Kun turn to Anakin for insight, knowing his instincts often pierce through the fog of uncertainty. His strategies save entire fleets. His courage inspires soldiers on distant worlds. On the battlefield, Anakin leads with unmatched precision. His blue lightsaber flashes like lightning through the smoke of war. Beside him, Captain Rex follows every command without hesitation. Obi-Wan Kenobi fights on other fronts, trusting Anakin to hold the lines that matter most. Across the galaxy, whispers begin. Skywalker is not just a warrior, but a leader who may shape the Republic's destiny. In the quiet moments between battles, Anakin reflects on his new responsibilities. The rank of Master has opened his mind to the deeper currents of the Force. He meditates more often now, sensing ripples of danger that stretch far beyond the front lines. The Force feels heavier, as though warning him of something unseen. But shadows creep closer. Chancellor Palpatine grows bolder in his private conversations, hinting at knowledge that could end suffering forever. He speaks of powers hidden from the Jedi, abilities that could prevent the visions Anakin still has of Padme's death. The temptation gnaws at him, but now, armed with the wisdom of the Council, Anakin questions instead of obeying. One evening, as Coruscant's skyline glows gold beneath the setting sun, Mace Windu calls Anakin aside. The Jedi Master warns him to be wary of the Chancellor, to trust his instincts but guard his heart. Anakin nods, torn between loyalty to the Republic and the unsettling truth he senses in Palpatine's words. The tides of war continue to shift. With every mission, Anakin's choices ripple outward, changing events in ways unseen. The galaxy feels poised on the edge of something vast, something that could either bring lasting peace or plunge all into darkness. The halls of the Jedi Temple are quieter now, but the air feels heavier. Anakin Skywalker walks with purpose, his dark robe trailing behind him as he heads toward the council chamber. The war is reaching its final stage, and as a Jedi Master, his opinion carries a weight he never knew before. Masters Yoda, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi look to him for tactical insight. He speaks calmly, outlining a plan to corner General Grievous and end the Separatist threat once and for all. In the streets of Coruscant, the people cheer for him. To them, Anakin is a symbol of victory, the hero who wins impossible battles. Padme Amidala watches from her balcony as the sun sets, her eyes filled with pride and worry. She senses the burden Anakin carries, the strain of leadership mixed with the haunting visions that still disturb his sleep. Late at night, in the meditation chamber, Anakin reaches out through the Force, searching for answers. He feels flickers of darkness, subtle, poisonous currents pulling at the galaxy's heart. They lead back to the Chancellor's office. Palpatine calls for him often now, his tone warm but edged with manipulation. The Chancellor praises Anakin's wisdom, telling him the Jedi hold back truths that could save the ones he loves. Yet something is different this time. Anakin no longer hears these words as promises. He hears them as traps. The patience and discipline he has learned as a master allow him to step back, to see Palpatine's influence for what it is. He shares some of these concerns with Obi-Wan, who listens carefully, realizing his friend may be the key to exposing the Chancellor's true identity. The galaxy moves toward a breaking point. The Republic's armies prepare for a final push against the Separatists. Anakin knows this will be the battle that defines not just the war, but the fate of the Jedi. The choices he makes now will decide whether the Force is brought into balance or whether the shadows consume everything. The sense of destiny hangs over every step he takes. The Jedi Council gathers under the soft glow of the temple's chamber lights, the city of Coruscant stretching endlessly beyond the tall windows. Anakin Skywalker stands among them, the rank of master granting him a voice in decisions that shape the galaxy. Holographic images of separatist strongholds flicker in the air as Yoda, Mace Windu, and Ki-Adi-Mundi discuss their final moves. Anakin listens, his mind sharp, suggesting precise strikes that could end the war swiftly. The council nods in agreement, their trust in him now solid. Outside the temple, the galaxy feels the shift. Jedi Knights on distant worlds follow Anakin's commands without question. His leadership has brought victories that once seemed impossible. In the skies of Kashyyyk, in the deserts of Salakami, his strategies have saved lives and turned the tide of battle. Clone commanders like Rex speak his name with respect, knowing he fights alongside them, never above them. Yet within this triumph, shadows stir. Chancellor Palpatine's influence has not faded. He summons Anakin to his private chambers, congratulating him on his mastery, but speaking in careful tones about the limitations of the Jedi Order. He hints again at forbidden powers, abilities that could preserve life itself. Palpatine speaks of Padme Amidala in veiled words, knowing her safety is Anakin's deepest fear. Anakin leaves those meetings troubled, but not consumed. The wisdom gained from his new position allows him to question, to sense deception beneath the Chancellor's polished voice. He takes his concerns to Obi-Wan Kenobi, who urges patience and vigilance. Together, they begin watching Palpatine more closely, their trust in one another strengthening as the days pass. Meanwhile, the Separatist forces retreat into their final strongholds. General Grievous is cornered, the Republic preparing for the decisive strike. The galaxy holds its breath, waiting for the end of a war that has consumed generations. Anakin stands at the center of it all, feeling the Force flow through him with clarity he has never known before. He understands that his choices now will echo through centuries. The path ahead is uncertain, but he no longer walks it alone. His loyalty to the Jedi, to his friends, and to the light guides every step. The war reaches its breaking point. The Republic's fleets press forward across countless star systems, and every move feels like the final chapter of a long and bitter conflict. Anakin Skywalker, now a Jedi Master, stands on the bridge of a Venator-class Star Destroyer, watching stars streak past as they jump to hyperspace. Captain Rex waits beside him, ready for the next command. The Council has entrusted Anakin with a critical mission, one that could end the war if executed perfectly. Reports flow in from every front. Obi-Wan Kenobi sends word from Utapau that General Grievous is on the move. The Separatist leadership is faltering, but the danger has never been greater. In the council chamber, Yoda's voice is calm yet firm, reminding Anakin that victory must not come at the cost of the Jedi's principles. The balance of the Force must be protected, even in the face of temptation. Chancellor Palpatine grows more desperate in his influence. In his private office, he speaks to Anakin with urgency, claiming that the Jedi are plotting to take control of the Republic. He offers himself as a friend, as someone who understands the burdens Anakin carries. He speaks again of powers that could save Padme Amidala from his haunting visions. But Anakin's heart is steadier now. His place on the council has shown him the broader picture of the war, the careful balance of trust and responsibility. He senses the darkness in Palpatine's words, the hidden hunger behind his kindness. This time, instead of being drawn deeper, he begins to watch, to gather evidence. On the eve of the final battle, Anakin meets with Obi-Wan in the quiet of the Temple Gardens. The two speak openly of their fears and hopes for the galaxy. Obi-Wan tells him that, no matter what happens, the Republic will need leaders who can resist both tyranny and chaos. Anakin listens, feeling the weight of destiny pressing upon him. The stars outside Coruscant shine bright that night. Somewhere in the darkness, the future waits, and Anakin knows the moment of choice is coming. His hand rests on his lightsaber, not in anger, but in readiness. The galaxy will soon discover what kind of master he has become. The battle for the galaxy enters its most dangerous stage. Across the stars, Republic forces close in on the Separatist leaders, and every victory brings the war closer to its end. Anakin Skywalker, now a Jedi Master, stands in the war room of the temple, the hollow projectors casting blue light across his face. Masters Yoda, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi discuss their final strategies, each aware that one wrong move could tip the balance toward disaster. Anakin listens, his voice calm, but certain as he offers plans that strike at the Separatist core while protecting innocent lives. His years of fighting have made him bold, but his new rank has taught him restraint. The Council trusts him, and his presence in their discussions is no longer questioned. It is valued. Yet, the shadow of Chancellor Palpatine lingers. In private meetings, the Chancellor presses harder, warning Anakin that the Jedi will betray the Republic. He speaks of ancient Sith powers, of ways to prevent death itself. He reminds Anakin of his visions of Padme Amidala's suffering, trying to draw him toward fear. But Anakin's path is different now. As a master, he has learned to sense the currents beneath words. He feels the darkness in Palpatine, the hunger behind his promises. Instead of acting on impulse, he begins to watch carefully, sharing his suspicions with Obi-Wan. The two agree that the Chancellor's true nature must be revealed to the Council. On the front lines, Anakin's leadership continues to inspire. With Captain Rex at his side, he leads missions that turn near defeat into decisive victories. His connection to the troops is strong. They follow him because he fights beside them, not above them. One night, as Coruscant's endless city lights glow beneath the temple, Anakin meditates in silence. The Force swirls around him, alive with both light and shadow. He knows the coming days will decide the fate of the Republic, the Jedi, and everything he loves. The weight of the galaxy rests on his shoulders, but his resolve is unshaken. Whatever trials lie ahead, he will face them as a true Jedi Master. The night over Coruscant is quiet, but the stillness carries tension. Anakin Skywalker walks the halls of the Jedi Temple, the hum of distant traffic echoing through the vast chambers. His robe sways with each step, the rank of Jedi Master resting heavily on his shoulders. The Council has given him new responsibilities, but with them comes the knowledge that the galaxy stands at a dangerous crossroads. In the war room, holograms of distant battlefields flicker to life. Masters Yoda, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi stand beside him, discussing intelligence reports that point toward the final Separatist strongholds. Anakin listens, his mind sharp, suggesting strategies that strike with precision while avoiding unnecessary loss of life. The Council members exchange nods. His insight is no longer met with doubt, but with respect. Still, shadows move beyond the temple walls. Chancellor Palpatine summons Anakin in the late hours, his words carefully chosen. He speaks of the Jedi's mistrust of him, of secrets they keep hidden. He praises Anakin's strength and whispers of ancient knowledge that could protect those he loves, especially Padme Amidala. His voice is smooth, but beneath it lies something darker. Anakin leaves these meetings with unease. The lessons he has learned as a master sharpen his instincts, and he senses that Palpatine's influence is not the gift it appears to be. He begins to confide in Obi-Wan, their bond of trust stronger than it has been in years. They speak in guarded tones, knowing that the wrong word in the wrong ear could change everything. On the front lines, Anakin's leadership turns battles into swift victories. Clone commanders like Rex follow him without hesitation, knowing he will never send them where he will not go himself. His presence lifts morale, his skill with the Force inspiring hope even in the darkest moments. As he meditates in the quiet gardens of the temple, the Force whispers to him of storms yet to come. He feels the pull of both light and darkness, the galaxy's fate balanced on a knife's edge. The next choice he makes will shape not only his destiny, but the future of the Republic itself. The war has entered its final and most dangerous phase. Across the galaxy, the Separatists retreat into their last fortified worlds, and the Republic presses forward with all its strength. Anakin Skywalker, now a Jedi Master, stands aboard a Republic cruiser, the stars stretching endlessly beyond the viewport. Captain Rex waits beside him, ready for orders. The Council has given Anakin the authority to direct one of the most critical campaigns of the entire conflict. In the Council chamber, the discussions grow tense. Yoda warns that the end of the war will not bring peace if darkness still lingers in the hearts of those in power. Mace Windu studies Anakin carefully, seeing in him both the hope of the Order and the potential for great danger. Obi-Wan Kenobi supports his friend fully, trusting in the wisdom Anakin has gained since taking his seat on the Council. Chancellor Palpatine moves with greater urgency now. In his private office, he tells Anakin that the Jedi are plotting to take control of the Republic. He speaks of Sith knowledge that could prevent death, repeating the promise that no one Anakin loves, especially Padme Amidala, will ever be lost to him. His words are smooth, but they carry the weight of temptation. Anakin listens, but his perspective has changed. The discipline of a master tempers his impulses, and he hears more than what Palpatine says. He senses the manipulation beneath every sentence. Instead of giving in, he starts to ask questions, his suspicion growing with each conversation. On the battlefield, his leadership is decisive. With Rex at his side, he turns what should have been drawn-out sieges into swift, strategic victories. His bond with the soldiers is unshakable, and they follow him not just because of his skill, but because they trust him with their lives. Late at night, as the temple rests, Anakin stands alone on a high balcony. The city below glows with 1,000 lights, but beyond it, the galaxy is filled with shadows. The Force is alive around him, its currents pulling in two directions. He knows the day will soon come when he must choose which path to follow, and that choice will decide the fate of all. The corridors of the Jedi Temple are quiet, but the air feels charged with anticipation. Anakin Skywalker walks with steady steps toward the council chamber, the dark folds of his robe brushing against the floor. As a Jedi Master, he has earned the trust of his peers, yet the weight of his role grows heavier each day. The galaxy is at the brink, and every decision made now will echo for generations. Inside the chamber, Yoda, Mace Windu, and Obi-Wan Kenobi stand around the glowing hollow projection of the Outer Rim. Reports flow in from clone commanders across the galaxy. Victories, losses, and desperate calls for reinforcements. Anakin studies the display, his sharp mind finding patterns others overlook. He suggests bold moves, strategies that would trap the Separatists before they can regroup. The Council listens, their approval silent but unmistakable. Yet even as the war nears its end, the shadow of Chancellor Palpatine looms large. In his private meetings, Palpatine's voice is calm, almost fatherly, but each word is carefully placed. He warns Anakin of the Jedi's ambition, claiming they plan to seize power once the war is over. He speaks again of the ancient knowledge of the Sith, a way to save Padme Amidala from the fate Anakin fears. This time, Anakin's resolve does not waver. The lessons of the Council have taught him to see beyond the surface of words. He senses the darkness in Palpatine, not just ambition, but something far older and far more dangerous. He shares his concerns with Obi-Wan, who agrees that the truth must be revealed before it is too late. On the battlefield, Anakin leads with precision and courage. Captain Rex and the 501st Legion follow him without hesitation, knowing that his orders will lead them to victory while minimizing loss of life. Each success strengthens his reputation not only as a warrior, but as a protector of the galaxy. At night, standing alone in the temple gardens, Anakin feels the Force moving around him like an unseen tide. Light and shadow twist together, each calling to him. The moment is coming when he must decide not just for himself, but for the entire Republic. The weight of that choice rests heavily on his heart. The night sky over Coruscant is alive with the hum of speeders and the glow of endless towers. Anakin Skywalker stands on the high balcony of the Jedi Temple, the city's lights reflecting in his eyes. As a Jedi Master, he has faced battles and councils, temptations and truths, but now the galaxy stands on the edge of its most critical moment. The war is ending, yet the danger has never felt closer. In the council chamber, the air is tense. Yoda, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the other masters discuss intelligence reports that confirm Chancellor Palpatine's growing control over the Senate. Whispers of emergency powers becoming permanent echo through the chamber. Anakin listens closely, his instincts telling him the truth he has tried to ignore. Palpatine's influence is not born of loyalty to the Republic, but of something far darker. Palpatine, however, is not ready to release his hold. In his private office, he welcomes Anakin with a warm smile, congratulating him on his victories. He speaks of destiny, of how the galaxy needs strong leadership after the war. Then, as always, his words drift toward the same promise: the knowledge to prevent death, to save Padme Amidala from the visions haunting Anakin's dreams. But the lessons of the Council and the discipline of his master's rank have changed him. He no longer hears salvation in Palpatine's words, only the echo of control. The Force whispers warnings, each one pulling back the veil that hides the Chancellor's true nature. With Obi-Wan's support, Anakin begins to prepare for what must come. Together, they gather evidence, planning the moment when Palpatine's deception will be exposed. The risk is enormous. If they fail, The Republic could fall before the truth is known. On the battlefield, Anakin's victories continue. With Captain Rex and the 501st Legion at his side, he strikes at the heart of the Separatist forces, each success tightening the Republic's grip on the war. The people see him as a hero, unaware of the storm gathering around him. As the city sleeps, Anakin stands in the temple gardens, the wind carrying the hum of the city below. He feels the weight of the choice ahead, one decision that will decide the fate of the Jedi, the Republic, and the galaxy itself.